Hello lads and lasses, and welcome back. And if you're new, well, then welcome. Going with the general Rainbow Six theme I have established on this channel, I've decided I want to mix it up a bit, and today we'll be making another Siege video. I know, very creative. However, today won't be another operator review, which if you haven't seen those, you should definitely go on my channel and watch them. I would definitely appreciate it. However, sticking with the general theme of operators, like in the operators review, I thought it would be nice to help you wonderful people know what all the operators are and how to pick them and when. If you've played Siege for about half a millisecond, then you know about operators and what they are. But what you may not know is that there are subclasses of these operators that have different roles on the team. So today we will be taking a look at all of these roles and subclasses. Before I get into this, if you have any differing thoughts or opinions, or think that what I'm saying is complete bogus, feel free to let me know in the comments. Anyway, with all that out of the way, let's dive right into this. Let's start out with defense. Everyone's favorite role, or least favorite role, if you're on attack, are roamers. Roamers are designed to waste the attacking team's side. They're always speed 3 and armor 1 operators. With roamers, you should not pick them if your team already has 2 or more, because you don't want a full team of roamers. Roamers should probably focus on getting behind the enemy and completely messing up their pushes, as well as just pestering them. Some notable roamers include Ela and Jaeger. My personal favorite roamer to play is Ela, and if you watched my review on Ela, which you absolutely should, you would know that she is in fact my favorite operator in the game. She is the perfect example of a roamer, as she is speed 3 and armor 1. She has a gadget that can completely stop an enemy team or an enemy push in their tracks, and her guns are quite simply amazing and are just absolutely made for harassing the enemy. And if they get close enough, you can dispatch them in like, I don't know, half a second? It's pretty good for a roamer. For our next role are Lurkers. They're incredibly similar to roamers. They can be both speed 3 and speed 2, but you typically don't want to go to speed 1. Oftentimes you can lurk with operators that you can roam with as well. Lurking is pretty much just staying near the objective. Lurkers shouldn't be doing flanks like roamers, but rather supporting the anchors, who, don't worry, we will cover soon. A lurker's main job should be to slow the attacker's push into the objective by any means possible. I'm also just going to go ahead and say that trap layers are also lurkers, as they should be near the objective and supporting your anchors. So some notable lurkers or trap like placers you could say are Kapkan and Mute. I would personally recommend Mute, as he can stop the attacking team from getting intel on the objective by placing down his Mute jammers, and can also stop plenty of gadgets. With his Mute jammers, of course, he can stop a thermite push, he can stop, well, pretty much anything that involves electronics. Now, let's talk about the big boys. Of course, the anchors. They have a very high skill ceiling, but don't get your titties in a twist, hardcore anchor players. They're definitely the most noob-friendly type of defending operator. Anchors should always be speed 3s or 2s. You don't want to be using a roamer as an anchor, or same vice versa. I'm looking at all of you Doc mains and you Rook mains. I see you, right? You fucking place your armor, or just heal some people, and then run off and roam. Everyone can hear you, you're not sneaky, and you're a horrible roamer. You should only be anchoring with Doc and Rook, okay? Or spawn peeking. So yeah, anchors should always be hunkered down on the objective and holding 1 or 2 angles where the attackers might come from. They should also be watching breaches where the attackers have breached from. 2 notable anchors include Doc and Mira. We're going to talk about Mira because she's probably one of the best anchors. When Mira isn't banned, she's an absolute necessity. She has an amazing gun for anchoring with so little recoil and an amazing fire rate. Her gadget, the black mirrors, also let you see from a one-sided glass. It's pretty good. You can see through reinforced walls and then break a hole next to a wall next to you and be able to shoot people as they come in, and they have no idea you can even see them. It's extremely useful to both you and your team. For our last defending class, let's briefly touch on anti-gadget operators. They do exactly what it sounds like. They place gadgets to counter other gadgets. These operators can also anchor or even be roamers in some cases. Typically you want to place their gadget on the objective at the beginning of the round and then lurk around it or roam just to be a help to your team. Probably the most notable anti-gadget operator is also one of the best roamers, which is Jaeger, who has his ADS, which will zap any projectile coming into the objective that is not from the defenders. That's all the defending classes, so now that we're done with that, let's do the opposite. Let's cover the attackers. Don't worry, the attackers are a lot more diverse, so it's going to be a lot less boring. Don't worry. Firstly, let's cover one of, if not the most important role to an attacking team. Hard breachers. As implied by their names, hard breachers can breach things that are hard to breach. Like all of our love for anime girls. I mean, I guess they can also breach reinforced walls, which is cool, I guess. It's not that big of a deal. These operators are a necessity to have on some maps, especially those with garages. The most commonly used hard breacher is Thermite, who has two. I don't know how to say it. It's like exothermic, some science shit. Charges that can fully break open reinforced walls. This can be extremely helpful for opening up a third or even fourth way to push into an objective. In conjunction with hard breachers, there are also soft breachers, who break soft things. Like you absolute simp. Soft breachers are nice to have, but not always a necessity. They typically have a secondary gadget that can break soft walls, or a primary gadget that is specifically designed to breach soft walls. Two notable soft breachers are Ash and Zofia. Ash is a great soft breacher as she has a grenade launcher that buries itself into a wall and then explodes, potentially killing someone who's very annoyed at you on the other side. And then once she breaks it open, she can run in and just kill the entire enemy team. That never happens, because people who play Ash are absolute garbage and don't deserve to play Siege. Honestly, like, come on. Everyone mains Ash. We don't need any more Ash mains. Like, if you're looking to get into this game, or you're just starting, please don't play Ash, man. Like, we need more IQ mains. Come on. Then, we have entry fraggers. They should always be in the front, leading a push. Keep in mind, the fact that they're always the first ones in the front means that they're always the first ones to die, or at least usually. Entry fraggers should typically, or always, be speed 3 and armor 1. They should be able to sprint into the objective and get one or more kill while the enemy is off guard. If you're annoyed with the roamers, just sprint at them in the action phase at the very beginning and hunt them down and catch them completely off guard. As mentioned with Ash as a soft breacher, she's also a great entry fragger. As I said, she can shoot her gadget, bury it into a wall, it explodes, and just completely kick the entire enemy team's ass while they're still just trying to reinforce. Lastly, for attack, let's touch on the most underused and underappreciated type of operator: support. A support operator can be any operator with a supporting gadget. A supporting gadget is one that can assist the team in pushing or freeze up enemies, gather intel, or block off rotations. Support operators should always be used, but are typically best used when your team is actually communicating. One of the most underused, but the greatest support operator is Capitao. He can help plant the diffuser by completely smoking out an objective, and then, if you need to block off rotation so that way people can't peek you and game end you while you're planting, you can shoot the fire bolts, which create an AoE effect of fire, so that way the defenders can't push back into the objective or try and flank you. So, I'd like to give a special thank you and shout out to any support player out there. Special shout out to my boy Cookie Overlord, who always plays Capitao. It's gotten us a lot of good wins. I salute you, support players. Don't worry, we notice you and we appreciate you. That's all I've got for you guys. That's all the major operator roles. If you think I missed anything, or I was completely wrong about something, feel free to let me know in the comments. Please be civil. I know you guys typically are, but oh no, let's just keep it civil. Also, as a side note, when you're playing, make sure that you always have no more than 2 of one type of operator on your team. You don't want to have 5 roamers or like 5 hard breachers. You can't do that. You can only have 3, but you don't need that. Also, I've seen 5-man anchor teams work, but think about it, 1 fuse hockey puck and all of you are dead. So just make sure you have a varied team composition. So, I gotta say, that's all I have for you lads and lasses. Sorry if the editing's a little just not too good on this video. I'm trying to keep up with high school, trying to study and everything, so it's a bit much. So that's all I have. Have a great rest of your day or rest of your night, and goodbye.